I ask you a question? Are you ready to get and keep momentum in your business? I hope so, because it's Penny Elliott here, your host, to having the perfect mix of the woo with the do. If you're ready to create the life that you want through a business designed by you, then tune in. Well, welcome to another episode of Get Momentum for Online Entrepreneurs with your host, me, Penny Elliott. And this is the show where we match the woo with the do. So that's the perfect mix of mindset and strategy to have fast success in your online business, so you can finally live the life that you thought you were going to when you first started your business. And everyone laughs at that because we all thought it was going to be unicorns, lots of money in our bank, and heaps of time to go to do yoga in the middle of the day. And alas, that's not. So today we have the amazing Trena Little with us, all the way from the other side of the world where it's really nice and hot, which I'm super jealous about. So welcome to the show, and you're going to talk all things YouTube. And before we jumped on here, I'm already breaking a massive faux pas in the YouTube world by putting this podcast up on Money Penny TV channel. So I'm really interested to hear how you can share with us how to make YouTube a platform that works extremely well for us. I've heard statistics year on year that all the ad spend is never sold on YouTube. Yet we're all fighting for space in Facebook. So I'm really keen to hear all about YouTube and how you're a genius at it.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Well, I really focus on organic strategy as a way for even baby business owners to actually cut through the noise, right? They don't have money, because when I got started in my business, I didn't have money to spend on ads, but it still felt like blogging was saturated and Instagram was saturated. So this was a way to cut through the noise and build that community and that trust factor. It's the evening time for me, so work with me here. Faster, because video does that faster than any other medium, imagery or words. And so that's why I really kind of hone in on the organic traffic source, and not necessarily dig in on the ads just yet on YouTube.
Okay, brilliant. Well, let's just crack on with it, because I think you've pretty much told everyone exactly how you help them and the transformation that you get them. So that's amazing. So the first, we're all about consistent clients. I teach people the consistent client formula. So how do you create that consistent flow of clients in your business? What's your secret sauce?
Well, YouTube. So the reason why YouTube is my secret sauce is because I'm solving a problem for somebody, because a lot of my content on YouTube isn't like vlog content or lifestyle content. It's helping them solve a problem, because I know as YouTube, as the second largest search engine in the world, owned by Google, which is the first one, if my audience is struggling with something, that's where they're going to figure it out, YouTube or Google. And if my content, my video can solve their problem, especially when they're in a pain point and they're Googling it or YouTubing it, and I can fix it for them, instant trust is built. And if it was easier than they imagined, most of the time they're going to dig into more of my content, and they're going to flow on into either figuring out how to work with me or what kind of products I have to sell. And an amazing example I have of this is one winter we all had the flu. It was literally like a Friday morning. We all went down with the flu. And I have two small kids, so a 3 and a 5-year-old. And we were sick, and between bathroom runs and cleaning up, I saw a ding on my phone that somebody had messaged me and wanted to know about my services. So I have everything already automated. I just kind of hit that start automation button, and she got the proposal, and she had sent me, I just binge watched 10 of your YouTube videos. Wow. I want to sign the dotted line. Where can I do that? So by the end of a weekend with the flu, I had a client, because I had solved her first pain point with a video, and then she went down the binge watch session of my videos, and she instantly knew that's who she wanted to work with. So that's kind of my secret sauce, is that I can show up in front of them when they need me most.
Amazing. And that doesn't mean you have to be there in person. So I want everyone that's listening and watching this, hopefully on my YouTube channel,
100%,
is is that, you know, you don't have to be there all the time. Like this, if you do this well on YouTube, in video medium, you can just point people to it and they lead on to the next and next and next and next. And I want to share a really, an example with sort of what made me think, wow, we really need to get someone on the podcast about YouTube, and sent my amazing wing woman Tessa off to find the expert in the field, and she came back with Trena, which is amazing. Is my partner said, I said, oh, look, you'll have to show your son how to shave soon. You know, he's getting to that age. I assume. I don't really know boys that well yet. Mine's only nearly 2, but his is like nearly 13. And I was like, I'm pretty sure it's around that age, isn't it? He was like, I don't need to worry about it. He'll just YouTube it. Right. Yep. So like even our natural way of thinking about how to parent is like, just YouTube it. You know, and like when I remember clearly when I was trying to get the capsule in the back of the car. So this is a great thing about when you have kids, right? They send you to all these antenatal classes to learn how to get it out of you. I'm sorry, but human evolution will tell you that the baby will never actually stay inside you. It will come out. If you went to classes or not, it will come out. However, getting the capsule in and out of the car is something they never teach you. How to do the double click at the same time and where the buttons are, and keeping the baby asleep in the capsule. That is something antenatal classes should teach you, because it's crucial if you want to be able to have a coffee with your friend that you've planned to meet with them in peace, right? These things are important. And I remember crying in the car park because I couldn't get the capsule back in the car to get home to give him a feed, because obviously as a new mum didn't want to breastfeed in public, like, oh my god, must go home. I love how you get over that really quickly. And I couldn't get the capsule back in the car. I was crying. I rang my husband and I was like, can you please help me? He was like, no, I've got something at work. And really helpful, thank you. And I thought, what am I going to do? I can't just leave the baby seat belted in the back. Like, what am I going to do? And I was like, I know, I'll just YouTube it. And so I literally put in how to, name of capsule, clip in car.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yep.
So it just shows how our way of thinking has completely changed.
Yeah,
right?
and Google even, Google values video content. So they will put YouTube videos higher up than blog posts. And if you add your YouTube video to a blog post, that gives you 2 chances to show up on the front page of Google, right? It gives your video a chance and also your blog post. So there are multiple different search terms where I have a YouTube video and a blog post on that front page of Google. So that's also the power that YouTube can have, because you're playing with the 2 biggest search engines, where something like Instagram or Facebook isn't necessarily a search engine. So
yeah.
And YouTube content lives longer, right? I have a video 3 years ago that still drives me leads to my email list every single day from 3 years ago. There's no Facebook Live that's driving you leads that you did 3 years ago.
No, that's so true. And if you just even, when you're thinking about this now, listening to this wherever you are, you don't go, oh, I'm just going to Facebook that to find an answer, right? I'm going to YouTube that, or I'm going to Google it, right? It's not a native way of our thinking. So that's a great way of viewing how to use YouTube and Google. What a gem as well. I want you all to write that down when you're listening, is that, putting it in a blog gives you 2 chances. Right? Easy, simple. Send it to something like Trent or rev.com, get it transcribed, toto it up, which is a Kiwiism for make it flash, copyright it up, and then you've got both. Really,
yeah,
really
and that's kind of like the secret power that I also have with YouTube is we take our YouTube video, and a lot of people think of, oh no, it's YouTube, it's another thing on my to-do list. But we really talk about how YouTube is your to-do list. Like, you make your YouTube video, you have newsletter content, you have blog content. I will film my YouTube video and then just do an alternate ending. I will do one specifically for Facebook, one specifically for Instagram TV. So we just cut the YouTube specific call to action off, add the Facebook. So out of one video, I got a blog post, I got a newsletter, I got Facebook, IGTV, YouTube, and then we splice it all up and do clips on Instagram or clips on LinkedIn. And so YouTube becomes this powerful content generator. And because it's video, it gives you much more power on all the other social platforms because those platforms love video. And so you're really saving so much time creating content when you just shift the way you're thinking about creating content and create it strategically.
I love that. So shift the way you're thinking about content and create it strategically. And in the consistent client formula and the Get Momentum Mastermind, we've got a social media multiplier, which is very, very similar to that, how to take one piece of content and turn it into 18. And that takes away a lot of the overwhelm of like, God, I've got to post on this, I've got to post on that, I need to be seen here, I need to be seen here, I'm not Gary Vaynerchuk, how am I going to cope? You know, and it takes the hustle out. So I love it.
Yeah. And that's really how even when this pandemic started and we didn't have childcare for 2 months at a time before we were okay with our parents watching the kids, I couldn't work, but I had content on YouTube constantly driving me leads. It wasn't Instagram, it wasn't Facebook, because I couldn't show up on those platforms.
Yeah.
But because of YouTube and because I could, have my husband watch the kids on the weekend and I batch YouTube content and then we do our process or we just multiply it all to the platforms, I was still putting content out while not working. I would shoot content for 1 day a month and it would all be done and it would drive consistent leads to my business.
How good does that sound, everyone listening? You need to listen to the end so you can work out how you can get in touch with Trena, because 1 day a month for content for the whole month sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so something else that I love to share with the listeners is how successful entrepreneurs like yourself get momentum in their business, because it's not a straight line to the top. It's not all just like, oh, I had 20 subscribers to my YouTube channel yesterday and I've got 21 tomorrow and I've got 22 the next day and 23 and it's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, right? It's not like that. So when have you had to really dig deep to get momentum back in your business after a setback?
Yeah, I think mine came pretty early on. I quit kind of like the perfect job and was crazy for leaving it, but I hated it. And so I had dove into like this program about creating a course, an online course. I was 100% bought into it, did every single step, stayed up late nights with a 10-month-old. And I put all my time into it. And when we launched it, I think I had 3 sales. It's so fresh because I just did a story on my Instagram about it. But it was like 3 sales. It was in the States here. It was late May. It was Memorial Day weekend. So we had gone on vacation a week later. And so I was sitting there on vacation, first 6 months in business. I'm like, okay, I think I made the wrong decision, like trying to reevaluate life in general. And I just kind of sat there, and what was actually lucky for me, I had somebody, my very first client, reach out to me and ask like, how can I work with you? This is my story. This is what I'm looking for. And so for me, it was just kind of taking a step back, not making any major decisions, just kind of evaluating, thinking, okay, what is that right decision? And this opportunity came up. And from there, that particular client has fed me more clients. I now work with her as well. She's my speaking coach at this point in time. And so just take a breather. I know you can stress out, grab some ice cream, maybe some wine, and watch some reality TV and just take a breather. It hasn't been my only setback. Obviously, there's been multiple setbacks throughout the past 4.5 years. And for me, what it is shut down the computer, take a step back, maybe even just, so we have childcare from Monday through Thursday, and maybe it's a day I'm supposed to be doing work, but I'm having that sit back and I just step away, Netflix for a day or something, just to, take your mind out of it and reset and recharge.
Great. I love that, because I'm a real advocate. In my book, the first section is called the woo section. And while there's lots of, universal type principles in there, the biggest one that most people have come back to me and really enjoyed reading is the chapter around resetting by going outside and going for a walk or going for a run, or as you said, just watching something else, like take your mind completely off it, because that's when you have your best ideas. It's not sitting here going, oh, Google something else, I'll Google something else, I'll YouTube something else, I'll YouTube something else, like that's just filling your head with lots of like information. And what you really need to do, I love that how you said that, is just, just take it for what it is. Don't beat yourself up, and just like give yourself some self-love, really, isn't it?
Yeah, take a break.
Yeah,
it's telling you, I think it's the universe's way of telling you, take a break.
Yeah.
You're getting this right now because you need to take a break.
Yeah. I love it. I mean, I remember I was sitting in my office and I just went, oh my God, with 3 people, because I know that feeling. I know that feeling well. I think we all do. And I was like, how has this happened to me? I've like done everything that was in that manual and that workbook. I have like written every email. I have like spent ages working out the hooks, the lines, everything. I've like given them a course, what they said they wanted in the market research, and why has no one bought from me? And I was howling so hard on the Swiss ball that I actually rolled off it and fell forward into the bookcase. And I was like, okay, I could have like really messed up my face then. I really need to like just get a grip here. 1, don't cry while sitting on a Swiss ball. And 2, don't cry over like 3 beautiful people that have said they would come and work with you, because you know what? You never know what's going to happen around the corner. And like what happened to you? It's one of your best clients that's fed you the most amount of referrals now. So amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that. Well, thank you for sharing that, because I really, really, really want this podcast to be about the real stories of entrepreneurship, not the photos of, like private jets and everything, oh, I'm a YouTube success overnight, because overnight, people, does not happen.
No, it doesn't.
Ever. Anywhere. No one buys a lotto ticket once and becomes a millionaire. They've probably been buying lotto tickets for like all their lives before they strike it big. So it's the same in anything.
And I like that you mentioned looking at, oh, I got 21 subscribers today, I'm going to get 21 tomorrow. And it doesn't even break down to the vanity metrics, because with YouTube, it's a whole different ballgame. You're not getting paid for subscribers or followers on Instagram, right? You're getting paid by people in your door. And I have 2 totally different clients, one with 500,000 YouTube subscribers and one with just over 10,000 YouTube subscribers. And they're both in this year going to make over close to $1 million in their business. But they have such different business models. And even with 500,000 YouTube subscribers and 10,000 YouTube subscribers, if your business model is strong and you're creating the right videos on YouTube and you're targeting the right audience with the right content, 10,000 YouTube followers, subscribers, whatever you want to call them, can feed your business and can generate revenue in your business.
Yeah. I love that. And a like isn't $1 in your bank account.
Nope.
If anything, you've probably paid for that like. Yeah. So it's actually negative. So you don't get stuck behind the vanity metrics. So, I mean, that kind of, maybe this is one of your examples, but if you could go back to the beginning of starting your business, knowing what you know now, 4.5 years ago, what would you tell your young entrepreneurial self?
I would actually tell myself to relax on video. So it took me a while that first year for my YouTube channel to grow, because I was so wrapped up on being perfect. I have a master's degree in business, and I come from like the business world where it's like a suit and like your pencil skirt and very professional. And so I focused so hard on being super professional, and I didn't let my personality out. And that's how people were going to connect with me. Like, they don't care how perfect you were. They weren't going to relate to you. But as I started being more me, as I started talking more like myself, talking with my hands, sharing a little bit more about like my story and sharing a little bit more of my family, that's when I started making a connection with people. And that's when the ball started rolling. But before that, I was just like, okay, camera on, perfect, say every single word perfectly, no mistakes. And if I could just go back and say, just let it go. Like, do you, like, I like to say, let your freak flag fly. Like, that's how you're going to connect with people. That's how you're going to make a community of people that you love and that they love and want to work and buy from you.
Let your freak flag fly. I love it. That's great. That is excellent. We'll put that in the show notes. Interestingly, I've just done another podcast interview today, which will be released before your one with Abby Gibbs, and she is all about story and her authenticity. So this is going to follow on greatly from the episode before. And if you haven't listened to that episode, finish this one and then go back and listen to that episode, because she was talking about how story creates the relationships with people. And all of my sales and marketing career, I've always been told and now teach, people buy people, not products and services, right? And
everyone can YouTube it.
Yeah. So, you know, like if you're turning up and you're like stoic and you're like, oh, I'm very professional and they're gonna see that you're not being your true authentic self. So I love that you said just relax, because a lot of people I coach are like, oh, I'm not doing a Facebook Live. Like I have to go and get hair and makeup done, you know, and I'm like, that is so not true. If you do that and then you turn up sometime in the future without hair and makeup on, they're going to be like, who is that?
I feel a lot with that with video too, being like a video person. It's so hard to convince women, like, you don't have to make sure your roots are done or that you have the perfect makeup, or it's like, just be who you are, be comfortable in what you're wearing, how you're wearing your hair and makeup, and that will make you be more comfortable on camera and let you connect. Because when you slap on this makeup and you do all the extra stuff, then you do kind of feel like a different person, and you can't let yourself out. Instead of, for me, I did a bunch of batching the other day, and I had all the t-shirts out that I was wearing, and I put like July's content brought to you by t-shirts, because I just had like 8 different t-shirts that I was cycling through in my videos, and that's what I'm comfortable in. I'm comfortable in t-shirts.
Yeah, exactly. Go for it. I mean, you think about it, it's a bit of a side note here, but when you get like full hair and makeup done and you're going to someone's wedding or a ball or something like that, where you're wearing a super fancy dress, you might feel lovely, but a lot of the time you feel quite uncomfortable. You've got like your feet jammed in these shoes that are like designed for only wearing until you're drunk enough that you can't feel them. And usually I say you end up drinking way too much, because you're actually super nervous about what you're wearing or what you look like, and then you end up looking like an ass because you've drunk too much, you know, like, so it's,
I love that.
So it's easier just to be yourself, and not worry. Yeah. I love it. So what legacy are you wanting to create and leave in this online space?
I'm really trying to leave the legacy of being you, kind of like how I said, let your freak flag fly. When I work with my clients and when I work with my students, I'm just like, be you, show up on camera. Don't be nervous. Don't hide behind the camera. Like, people are going to connect with you. So many people that I work with want to make a change. They want to help business owners write better copy, or they want to help women, feel better about their body by doing yoga. They want to get their message out, but they're so afraid to be on camera. And so I just want to be able to leave the legacy. Like, you can turn the camera on whenever you need to and just be yourself and make your connection.
I love that. And that is something that needs to really, really happen, because I find that a lot of men do very well in the video world. And I always think, oh, you lucky bastard, you can just turn it on whenever you want, because it doesn't matter if you're unshaven, you like have one hairstyle. And like if you wear a shirt or a t-shirt, it's totally fine. We put this ridiculous pressure on ourselves that like, my hair needs to be brushed, I need to have makeup on, I need to have this color top, like where, Gary V or Tim Ferriss or like Russell Brunson, they just turn it on and they start talking, and they're so much further ahead of us because they haven't had all this silly hang-ups.
Yeah.
They've just connected with their audience, and look how big their audience is. So I love that you are creating that legacy and developing that space where it's okay online, because it's much needed.
Yeah.
And I love your sign in the background, perfect is not done. So if you're listening to the audio, she's got like a light box in the back that says perfect is not done, which is so true. Stop hiding behind perfect. I love it.
Yeah, because it'll never get done. There is no perfect. Perfect doesn't exist.
Well, no.
And not over here, that's for sure.
yeah, that's true. Okay, so how can people get in touch with you?
Yeah, so my YouTube channel is youtube.com/tips with Trena. I share a lot of behind the scenes and a lot of story over on Instagram as well. So it's Trena_Little, or you can just go TrenaLittle.com/YouTube/Instagram, all of that.
Perfect. Okay, and we'll pop those links in the show notes. And obviously you can go over and binge watch all of her YouTube.
Yeah.
And then you can work out what I'm doing wrong and come back and tell me. So what is your rad gift for the listeners today?
Yeah, so I actually just completed a brand new 15-page roadmap that walks you through every single step to get your YouTube channel set up to drive more views and more leads. And so we did something super fun with this workbook, roadmap, whatever you want to call it, where it's interactive. So you click on the button and it takes you to an actual tutorial that I have on my YouTube channel. So you can learn how to create your channel banner and write your about section and add defaults and do all the kinds of stuff to get your channel set up with me actually helping you through tutorial videos. So that's at TrenaLittle.com/Penny. I'm going to send that to Penny. So TrenaLittle.com/Penny.
Easy. And we'll pop that in the show notes for you as well. And that sounds really fun, actually. I like that it's interactive. It's good.
I spent a long time because I hadn't had a new thing come out. I was like, I really want this to be fun. I want people to take action. And there's a lot of new colors and like bubbles and stuff. And so it was real fun to create.
Oh, exciting. We'll definitely have to download that so that Money Penny TV can have a bit of a spruce up as well, because it's been a while. Yeah. Okay. And so as a last little soundbite for all the listeners, what is your favorite one-liner to give yourself a boost every day to get momentum in your business?
As simple as it is, it's get over it. Whether it's you didn't hit those launch numbers, your hair is not looking right to get on video, maybe you got a pimple on your face and you got to shoot video, just get over it. Get over it, get out there. So as simple and down to the point, it's get over it.
Get over it. I love it. And it's so true though. A lot of the time, all that time that you spend like indecision about like a pimple. Well, should I not today? You could have done it.
There's been a couple times where I've shot my videos and I've had lipstick on my teeth and I got it back from the editor and I'm like, I'm not recording this. And so we've put it on our channel and there's not a single comment about it. And when I asked somebody who's watched it, I was like, hey, did you notice the lipstick on my teeth? They're like, no, you had lipstick on your teeth? So get over it. You're noticing things that most people aren't even going to notice.
Exactly. I think that I make way too many ums and ahs in the recordings. And I said to a few people, I was like, oh, I really should get that professionally edited. And they were like, I didn't even notice. It just sounded like you were talking to me. So, exactly. Get over it. Get it done.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, hey, it was really, really lovely chatting with you. Hopefully you guys got a lot out of that. Get your freak flag on. I think that is amazing because, everyone loves everyone for their uniqueness. So, and just get yourself out there. Make sure that you grab that 15-page roadmap with all the links to the different tutorials and get on YouTube. It's such an underused, huge platform for you to drive, clients into your business, drive traffic into your business. And if you do it the right way, which Trena is going to show you, then it makes life a whole lot easier. And it means that you're using your time effectively. So I couldn't suggest enough that you go and grab that workbook and work your way through it, because if anything can make your life easier and get to a result faster, then you definitely should grab it with both hands. So thank you so much for your time. I hope everyone's enjoyed this episode and we'll see you on the next one. If you love the woo with the do and you want to dive deeper into how you too can get and keep momentum in your business, Then join thousands of other online entrepreneurs like yourself and head on over to Amazon and grab a copy of my book, Get Momentum, your ultimate guide to create 100K in 100 days without fear, overwhelm, and burnout. And while it's being delivered to you, you'll have time to leave a 5-star review of the podcast before you head on over to the next episode.